Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to your reading for mid-May 2022. We're just going to jump right in here, Pisces, and see what is going on for you. This does not really surprise me. You have this, actually, let me switch. You have this, a powerful move card here, and I do feel that you are making some powerful moves at this time. Like 4 days ago now, I did your weekly reading for the week of the 16th, I think, or whatever. I'm skipping that week because I ended up taking like 4 days off. I just needed it, right? I could probably take more days off, honestly, but I don't know. I like working. And, so basically that reading didn't record at all. Well, it recorded the video, but it just didn't record any audio, unfortunately. But it was a really good reading. And it was all about you making like a powerful move. You didn't have that card, but you had other cards that would represent kind of like making decisions. I'm pretty sure in the beginning of that video, I was like getting a message. It's actually popping into my head right now where I was like decisions and choices and decisions. It's like I was going back and forth between the two words, you know, if that makes sense, Pisces, even though they're basically the same word. But I feel like you're kind of like decisions and choices and decisions. And that's kind of like what this looks like to me. I kind of feel like it's exciting because there's like, freedom in those choices. It's almost like you're being, your world is opening up here. You start off with this pathway card. I definitely feel that you're kind of like on this path towards success, towards kind of like abundance and good things coming in for you. But it's like you're still in the forest. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel there, kind of like the light at the end of your long journey. But I feel like you're kind of like hoping to kind of get some rewards for maybe some difficulties or challenges that you've been going through, which is what this first row looks like to me. Not a bad first row, just like, I think sometimes we, work really hard towards something or we go through something very challenging. A reading like this, it always reminds me of being sick. It's like if you've ever been like really, really sick, you just think, oh my God, it's going to be like this forever. Am I ever going to be set free? Am I ever going to get away from this feeling? And I kind of have that for you here in this first row where some of you have been in a position where you're like, is it going to be like this forever? Is my life always going to be like this? Or are things going to improve? And I do feel, luckily there are plenty of improvements here at the end. So I kind of feel like you're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. You have the Four of Swords, the Six of Pentacles, and the Queen of Swords here. I actually kind of like this because the Queen of Swords, she has those clouds only halfway up her body. And kind of intuitively for you, Pisces, I actually feel that some of you even, like, I get this weird kind of like feeling inside of me. I don't know if I can describe it other than, it's almost like, there have been times in my life where it's like I almost want to be negative, but I can't. It's like I'm kind of being, no matter what, it's like I get pushed more towards the positive, if that makes sense. I see that happening for you here with the Queen of Swords where you're like, I should be angry. I should be mad about this. I should be, upset that my, brother just robbed the bank or, whatever the hell is going on in your life. Doesn't matter. I feel like you have these feelings with this Queen of Swords, but you also are like starting to see the light, with that pathway card. I feel like you're starting to see that there are reasons for you to be happy. I would be very, very careful where you're investing your energy with the Six of Pentacles. Again, as I always say, I don't think tarot should tell us what to do. To me, tarot is like loose guidance. You can take it or leave it, right? Pisces, it's your life. And I like to kind of like emphasize that because again, I don't think tarot controls our life, obviously. But the Six of Pentacles, I feel is saying it is super important for Pisces to make sure they're only giving to situations that are returning energy to them. Again, if you're feeling exhausted, I would say that's a pretty good clue that you're probably giving to something that you shouldn't be giving to, or probably multiple things in your life. And so I feel you should be examining situations and saying to yourself, am I like investing in this situation way more than I should, or is it time to take my power back? And that's really that's the question I'm getting on the Six of Pentacles here. You have the Four of Swords here, which is definitely a recovery. I feel you've been in recovery mode for quite a long period of time. You have the Power Move card here. Again, I've been saying to you for months now that I feel once we get to like, you're going to be working on these things now is what I want to preface this by saying you're going to be working on what I'm about to say about now. I feel like you're going to be seeing results now. By the way, on the things that you're working on, but if you're working towards a project, wish, goal, or dream, I feel like by 2025, I feel people are going to be looking at you and be like, where the hell did that come from? You know, it's like you could be surprising people or shocking people in the future with the things that you're working on now. It's like, I don't think people necessarily are doubting you. I just think they maybe just don't see the things that you're working on behind the scenes or see the things that you're creating. And that's what I feel this is talking about with a power move, is that you're making some changes. I also feel there's a lot of potential for you. It's like you and Virgo always get this like potential thing. You are opposite signs. It makes sense. But I feel there's a lot of potential for you. My problem with that is potential is just potential. It's like you have to put the work in to make it happen, right? And that's what I would say here with this powerful move card. I really would avoid trying to compare yourself or do things like other people do them. It's funny. I just read the book. I think it's called The War of Art by Pressfield. And, in it, he talks about the difference between like an artist and a hack. And he's and it's popping into my head right now. That's why I'm saying this to you, Pisces. And he says that like a hack is someone who just tries to do something to like get the approval of people, more or less. So it's like you're looking to do things so that you can be sure that you're going to be approved of. But it's like, what do you want to do? And I feel like that's where the power move is right here. Is that you need to do things that you want to do, not necessarily what you think will be popular or what you think, other people will resonate with or whatever. The secret is that nobody ever resonates with a hack. It's like you can tell that a person who's a hack is being a hack, right? It's like when someone is truly genuine, usually they rise to the top. And that's what it looks like you're doing here, because you have the Hermit right here. The Hermit is like saying you've been on this long journey. You've gone through your dark night of the soul. Now it's time to share your wisdom. Now it's time to share your inner voice. Now it's time to share the things that, kind of made you who you are, or it's time to share the things you've been through. This could be through work or creating something like an artist. It could be through creating YouTube videos, or it could just be by living your truth. Again, if right now you live in Florida, but you hate the heat and you want to move to Alaska, maybe now it's time to live your truth. Maybe now it's time to, move to Alaska with the Hermit card. The Two of Pentacles, again, says it's time to get to work. So I feel like it's time to get to work. Two of Pentacles, I like to remind people, it's like Two of Pentacles is one of those cards where maybe you live in Florida, you want to live in Alaska, maybe you don't have the money. And so you might be saying, I don't have the money to move to Alaska. Two of Pentacles just says, it doesn't matter. Get to work, right? Start taking those steps. It's like, I truly believe that the universe is like, well, if they're not taking the steps to do this, then it's not going to happen. It's like, what's the point, right? So I always tell people a story about, when I moved to Seattle. I didn't have the money to move to Seattle when I did it, but I did it anyway. And I'm not saying we should be taking kind of like ridiculous risks with our money or anything like that, especially at this time. But what I would say is it's like, I feel like, I took those steps. I flew out to Seattle. I found an apartment, and then things started falling into place because I did those things, right? If I didn't do those things, if I just kept dreaming about it, I'd probably still be where I was, right? So I feel there's like a need for you to kind of like start taking the steps towards something. This doesn't just have to be about a move either, Pisces. I feel that this could be about starting a business, starting a YouTube channel. But again, I feel like if you're trying to do something that other people are doing, I'm not saying we shouldn't mimic success, but what I'm saying is if you're trying to do things like another person, it's not going to work out. It's like, let me give you an example. It's like if you're trying to start a YouTube channel, it's like if you were to try to be exactly like Mr. Beast, right? For example, one of the biggest YouTubers now of all time, then you're probably not going to be very successful, because it's like everybody and their mother is copying Mr. Beast. There's nothing wrong with, I think, mimicking his style, but you would need to come up with sharing your own, things in your own way. So I think there's a difference between, again, mimicking someone's style or taking inspiration from other people. But if you're going to try to do things because he does them and you think that's popular, I think that's what's not going to work out here. And this reading is really making that a point. And here, this is where it's making it a point right here. Temperance. Temperance is about like mixing two things together. Temperance is a card of patience, but I really just get quick movement for you here, Pisces. I do not get patience. If nothing else, this reading to me is saying, what the hell are you waiting for? Like, what are you waiting for? It's like, I see all this, like, this swirling energy over here, fears, worries, doubts. Is like, oh, I'll never be successful. Trust me, I'm a Pisces. I totally get it, right? But like over here, it's like, oh, you can be ridiculously successful, but what are you waiting for? Three of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. You're being too cautious. You're playing it too safe. So I feel like it's time to put yourself out here. The Temperance card is about mixing two things together. So it's like, why not? If you're starting a business or, looking to start a new relationship or whatever it is you're looking to do, I feel like you kind of like, it's okay to mimic success, like I said, in the sense that maybe you're taking some inspiration from this person over here. And I feel like the thing that you're adding to it, with that Temperance card is your own razzle dazzle, Pisces. I almost just said Pisces, your own magic. I feel that's what your own ideas about how the world should work or whatever. And I think that's going to make all the difference in the world with that Temperance card. Next, you have Aquarius. It says collaborate on it. I mean, duh. I've been saying teamwork makes the dream work for 6 months now. So if I were you, I would be doing something to work on a team with another person. I really feel that working or building a team is probably the best thing you can do. Again, I've been focusing on building a team just for the past 2 years. We're up to 3 people now, believe it or not. So other than me. So, and it's probably been the best thing I've ever done, duplicating myself, basically building other projects and things like that. So it's been extremely helpful for me. And I feel like it'll be helpful for you. And you don't even have to hire people to do this. You can be doing other things. You can be, you can be networking with people, which is free. You can do it on Facebook. You can do all sorts of stuff. And, people always leave me comments and I hate Facebook and I hate this. I'm like, okay, there are a million other things you can do if you truly hate Facebook. But also it's if networking is going to change your life, you're going to allow that to get in the way, right? I hate Facebook, right? Mark Zuckerberg and I have have an ongoing beef, right? That was a joke, by the way, to everybody that takes that seriously. But, I feel like it's not a joke anymore because I have to explain myself, right? But anyway, what I would say here is it's it doesn't matter if you do or not. I would do something to work with other people. That's where the magic happens. You have the Knight of Cups, the Three of Wands, and the Knight of Pentacles. Too much overthinking here. It's you have the right idea, is what this says to me. Knight of Cups could be love, by the way. I do feel like there's love available to you, of course, Pisces, in the middle of the month. And I feel like there's a lot of love this year for you. Is it a major focus for you? I'm not so sure. We're going to clarify this in just a second. And I would say, is love a major focus for you? I feel like it's in the back of your mind, but I feel a lot of caution around love, probably because of past situations is what this reading is saying to me. So, I feel like there's a lot of past stuff going on here. The Three of Wands card of expansion, but it's also what are you waiting for? I do feel like there's some moves that need to be made. It's you're not getting any younger is what I feel like this is saying. I don't really feel this reading is pressuring you as much as it's saying, what are you waiting for? Because you have the right idea. It's the universe is saying, you're right about the things that you want to create. So it's get to work. Even this card says exactly the same thing. He is the only knight in the tarot that is not moving. He's the only one that depicts no movement. And he's got these empty fields behind him. He could easily get to work. He could easily start planting seeds in those fields. 6 of Pentacles, which you have over here. 6 of Pentacles is a card of planting seeds. It's you could easily get to work, but you have to do it. You have to get moving here, Pisces, is what this reading is saying. All right, let's see what is going on for you here, Pisces, at this time. And let's see here. With the Four of Swords, you have the World card. The world is completion, and waiting for things to happen. I do feel we're all going through this birthing process that I talk about all the time. So, that kind of makes sense to me. You have, with the Six of Pentacles, you have the High Priestess. Again, I really just feel like this reading is saying, you know exactly what you need to do at this time to be successful. And I really feel you just need to kind of trust your intuition here, Pisces, with that High Priestess. It's your intuition is guiding you and telling you, what the right steps are because and I feel like you just need to take the steps. So let's see here. With the Queen of Swords, you have the King of Cups. King of Cups is about trusting your emotions, really. He is in perfect emotional control. He's sitting in these choppy waters, but he is perfectly fine. Like I just said to you a minute ago, I do get these, I feel like there are a lot of feelings in this reading. So, you could be just in your feels, but I feel like everything is fine. Again, you have the world here, which is things might be crazy going on in the world, but, he is perfectly fine. He is able to live his life, and he is doing what he can with what he has. It's I understand that there are a lot of concerns in the world. I understand that there's a lot going on. But it's every single person I've ever met who's always oh, there's this war going on, there's inflation, there's all this other stuff. I'm not saying that these aren't real concerns. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be prepared or anything like that. But what I am saying is it's you're worrying about something that may or may not happen. And it's so I do everything I can right now, right in this second, to, grow, to improve my life and all that other stuff. And guess what? It's like everything always works out for me since I started doing that. It's like all those people that are running around with their chicken, like a chicken with their head cut off, they usually don't do so well, right? It's like I've met many people who are always like, oh, it's like, they're raising taxes, the government, this person's president, and it's like, I'm not going to make any money in my business. It's like, meanwhile, I continue to grow year over year, and they keep losing money. It's because they're focusing on the wrong thing. I feel like this King of Cups is like saying, yeah, there are many things that are going on in the world. Should you be prepared? Yeah, of course. It's like maybe with inflation, maybe you want to buy some extra rice or something like that, right? Just in case. But it's like, what can you do right this second to improve your life? And I feel like your reading is encouraging you to kind of like say, like, yeah, things may happen, things may not happen. And it's like, so it's like we really kind of like need to be more in the moment right now. And with the Temperance card, you have the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, I mean, the only thing that's going to hold you back is staying where you are. I remember telling you in the reading for the week of the 16th that didn't work, that there was something in that reading about needing to kind of break outside of your comfort zone. I definitely feel you are one of the main signs that needs to do that. Because again, if you're going to stay where you are, that's probably, you're just going to keep experiencing the same thing. I do feel with that World and the Four of Pentacles here, this to me is like saying that there's a cycle in your life potentially that needs to be broken. It's something that has repeated itself multiple times, I would say, over the past few years. For some of you, it could be involving a person. Doesn't even have to be love related. It could be like family or something like that. But I feel like it's almost like you're breaking a curse. I don't like to use that word. I don't really believe in curses. I think it gets overused by intuitives in the first place because it sounds good. But I do feel like some of you could be breaking a cycle here, or you need to. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the Star. Star is like a wish, goal, or dream. And that Two of Pentacles is saying you need to get to work. I feel like, I always say to you, Pisces, that it's like, you're a Pisces. Your life is not going to look like anyone else's, so there's no point in even comparing yourself to someone else. Exactly what I said. It's like, if there was anyone who could, start like a snail factory and be successful, it would be you. Because it's like, you might be thinking nobody wants a snail factory, but I don't know, maybe you create something that no one else has ever seen before with snails, and then you become, a billionaire off of snails, right? It's like, I know it sounds ridiculous, but that's the whole point of this reading. Is like, it's like saying, if you're saying to yourself, I want to start this business, this relationship, but it has to look like everybody else, and it's not going to work. I feel like if you realize that you're going to be doing things in your own like little Pisces way, then you'll be much more successful. With the Hermit, you have the Hermit. Basically, the Hermit is just saying, I meant what I said, which is like, you've been through all this stuff. It's like, why not get some sort of reward for the difficulties and challenges that you've been going through? One of my favorite people of all time, Eric Thomas, hip-hop preacher. He always says, at the end of pain is success. And it's like, why stop? It's like, why not get something for the pain that you've been through, the difficulties, the challenges? I really feel like it's saying it's time for you to share your wisdom, Pisces. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Six of Swords, major improvements coming in for you. It doesn't really surprise me. I mean, I feel like that first pathway card that you had there, Pisces, is very similar to this card. I feel like it's just saying that you're overcoming these difficulties and challenges, more or less. With the Three of Wands, you have the Page of Cups. So I feel that I feel like this could be an offer coming in for you in the future. I feel so hesitant here, Pisces. I feel like I said this to you last time. I feel like saying the same thing again. I would be, again, if you have a new person entering into your life for love, I feel like you are hesitating for whatever reason, but I would go for it. Again, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I really feel this major hesitation because of past situations. And it's like the words that are popping into my head here, Pisces, are like, it's like you're trying not to trick yourself again. And I really don't think this is a trick. I feel like there's a very genuine person coming in for you. For a small percentage of you, I feel like this person is younger than you. And that might be why. And I feel like maybe you're saying to yourself, like, I'm in this stage of my life. And you're assuming that this person is in this stage of their life. And you might be thinking to yourself, like, this person isn't as serious, or they're not really going to want to be in it for the long haul, or, whatever the case may be. But I feel like this is a very genuine person. And so I would say, I just don't want you to miss out on something that could be very good for you. So it might be worth a shot, might be worth looking into, right? If a person comes in here. But again, I do get a lot of hesitation here. I feel like you need to realize with the Hermit that it's like you have learned. I think sometimes we discount our education through life. It's like, the Hermit really says, even relationships, I always get comments from people who are like, everybody cheats, which isn't true. I always go over this because it's like plenty of people don't cheat, right? And, I say you maybe have chosen a bunch of cheaters, but it's like what we need to do is stop and say, we need to be honest with ourselves and say, I choose people who cheat. That's what I do. Why do I do that? Right? And I'm not saying you should be blaming yourself. You're not blaming yourself here. You're just saying, like, why do I do that? What is it about me that makes me pick this type of person? And if we can do that, then we can say, maybe it isn't your fault, number one, but maybe you pick a type of person that does it. And maybe you can say, I'm going to avoid people who do X, Y, and Z because they always cheat, right? Then you can look for a different type of person. And, and I'm not saying that's true for all of you, but again, I feel like you need to kind of look at the past and say, no, I've learned from all those mistakes. And I would also look at this new person and say, like, are they the same? I would say no. I feel like this person is going to come in very different, and that's like your clue. It's like a different type of person. It's not, they don't have the same things, the same difficulties from the past, right? With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Devil. It wanted to come up in reverse there. I don't read reversals, but it's interesting. It could also just be that there's a Capricorn coming in for you. It really wouldn't surprise me, Pisces. I said it at the beginning in the 2022 yearly readings for you, that it really wouldn't surprise me if you had an Earth sign coming in for you. Just based off the astrology. So it could be an Earth sign. You have everything here. You have Aquarius, you have water, Virgo, so it could be an Earth sign, could be any sign, but it could be a Capricorn. For others, I feel, this is talking about the toxic energy that is not getting started on something. Knight of Pentacles, hesitation, and the Devil is like you being stuck or bound to, who knows? It's like you could be stuck or bound to projecting in the future. You could be wanting to get started on a project, and then you could be in the cycle of telling yourself, no, this isn't going to work because of X, Y, and Z. And, that is it really toxic? I would say, I don't know, maybe, because it's like preventing you from expressing yourself or, starting a business or whatever. So I would get moving here. It's a really powerful reading, Pisces. I definitely feel like you're going to be, again, making some powerful moves with that powerful moves card. But, I feel like this is something that is like a developing process. Looks pretty good. So thank you for being here, Pisces. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your month.